Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet where we talk... No, fuck. I fucked that up. This is a different one. This is the other thing that we do.
That's right, yeah.
Welcome
Your
back.
two lives have crossed together
I don't like
in
this.
unexpected ways. You thought you'd keep them separate forever.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Caravan of Garbage where we're talking about the Hellboy movies. This week, 2008's Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
Woo!
I don't remember Universal Studios having their website at the bottom of their logo at the start of movies. Was that a thing that they used to do, I guess, for a time?
Wow, so everybody could crack their laptops open in theaters and go check out whatever Web 2.0 was delivering for them. Probably some sort of interactive website where it's like
God.
Hellboy's hand and you click on the fingers and you get different things. Gallery.
Yeah?
Synopsis.
Synopsis?
Yeah, cast.
Behind the scenes?
Maybe behind the scenes video. I don't remember what the internet was like in 2008, I'll be honest with you.
try not to.
Was YouTube around then?
It was, yeah, barely.
right.
But yeah, it was happening. Well, it's mentioned in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
That was when you could put anything on YouTube. And you can now to a degree, but just nothing owned by a corporation. You can put a dead body on YouTube.
Yeah.
Lawrence, don't put the dead body video in.
Instead, scrub through all of Hellboy 2 The Golden Army. Here it is. Here's the whole movie.
Please leave a like because we're talking about what I feel is the best Hellboy movie. It's great. I love it.
It is good. I remember at the time not loving it in comparison to the first one, but I rewatched it for this, James.
Yeah.
I didn't just guess at what happened in this. I rewatched it because I'm committed to the quality of this video series.
You're committed to making great content.
That's correct, aren't
Yeah.
we all? Yeah. That's what YouTube's for.
That's right.
It's good. It's more Pan's Labyrinth. You know what
Definitely.
you know what I think probably one of the things I probably disliked about it at the time was it felt like it was less Hellboy and more Guillermo del Toro using the kind of the bare bones of the Hellboy concept to just do something else.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So
How dare he?
So after he made Pan's Labyrinth in 2006, he was approached by Peter Jackson to do Halo, but he turned it down for this. He was also asked to do...
Hey, do you want to do Halo? I don't want to do Halo, so if you could... do you want to do it?
Nah.
Okay, I'm going to do
Like,
something.
I guess we'll do a bad TV show in 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Remember that show?
No.
It got cancelled, I think, maybe.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Master Chief, what's he up to? There he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's every episode of the Halo series. No.
He turned down I Am Legend, One Missed Call, and another Harry Potter movie. This one, The Half-Blood Prince.
He turned down one missed call. What
Yeah,
is
that's
that
right.
even?
From the studio.
Sure.
Said one missed call, and he said, no, thank you.
I don't recognize this number. They're probably trying to sell me something. Probably trying to make me do Halo.
Yeah, probably.
That's why I never answer the phone if I don't recognize the number, because the studio's probably going to make me do Halo.
It's probably more likely a crank call.
Sure, or a bill collector. Yeah, absolutely. One of those things.
Yeah. So off the back of Pan's Labyrinth, he was basically given permission from the studio to do whatever. So everything in this...
You've got that labyrinth juice, Guillermo.
Exactly.
Do whatever you wish. Even if it leans more towards weird fish sex again. Maybe a fish man could get a girlfriend. I don't know.
Well, maybe. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, Mason. So the story was still worked on with Mike Mignola, but there's no elves or Golden Army in the comics. There might have been since, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's clockwork stuff.
Yeah.
There's elf-like creatures, you know.
You go into a bazaar and you go, this is bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mignola was involved, but every time he suggested anything, Guillermo was like, yeah, man. Yeah.
Well,
We'll get right on that.
if you've noticed that every property that Mike Mignola makes of Hellboy, including that new video game, The Web of Word or whatever,
Sure.
and the 2019 movie,
Hellboy teaches typing, the
right.
web of word.
and the new one, it's always like, well, this is really my vision. This one takes it back to what Hellboy really is. So,
sure.
yeah. Also, Ron Pearlman, he actually turned down the role of Piccolo in Dragon Ball Evolution to do this movie again. Can you believe it?
Wow. So, I mean, I assume there would have been some script alterations to get Ron Pearlman in. He wouldn't have been a high school student
No,
learning the Kamehameha.
I'd imagine not, yeah. So, this time around, Hellboy, he's back, and there's a prince, and he wants to make a golden army, but he has a twin sister. And if one gets stabbed, they both get stabbed.
That's twin rules.
That's twin
just the
rules.
law of physics. You can't change that.
And Agent Myers, he's gone. Hellboy got him transferred to Antarctica. Apparently, though, Rupert Evans, who played him, he was doing a stage version of Kiss of the Spider-Woman in London.
Oh.
I'm not...
What is that, a bloody Hellboy spin-off? It's a bloody Spider-Woman?
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. I feel like he was never in this, though, right? Is there room for that guy in this movie? Not as a main player, surely.
Let me think. No, because there's no elf for him to fall in love with.
No.
They wouldn't have had him be killed by the tooth fairies.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that guy with the metal hand, Wink, could smash him with his big metal hand.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah. And then he could be like, go on without me.
Yeah.
I got smashed with a hand. It's so big.
You know who is a good inclusion in this?
Who's that?
It's Luke Goss.
Who's that?
He plays the prince.
Oh, sure.
He's from Bros.
Is he really?
Or Bros.
Is that really him?
That's really
the guy
him.
from Bros.
Yes.
British pop duo Bros.
It's really him.
When will I be famous? Well, it turns out now in the movie Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, except I didn't recognize you, so never is the answer. to
Well,
when will I be famous?
He's also in Blade 2, which Guillermo del Toro also directed.
Is he one of the vampires?
Yeah, probably.
One of the freaky vampires?
One of the face-splitting ones. I assume. I don't
Sure.
know. Look, I know people are asking, when are we going to get to the rest of the Blade movies? When they make a Blade movie.
Yeah, good luck, idiots.
Then we'll come back. Yeah, off the back of this, though, I'm surprised Luke Goss just isn't in more things. He's terrific in this. He's so good. He's like one of my favorite elements of this movie. You know what? There's a lot of favorite elements. Luke Goss, you are one of many favorite elements in this movie.
What's another one?
Well, all the creatures and characters in general. So, Johann Kraus, voiced by Seth MacFarlane.
That's right.
Of Family Guy fame.
That's right.
That suit, I mean, amazing.
Just a slightly more German Stewie.
That's true, yeah. That's most of his characters though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that suit, for the most part, is practical. They've hidden a guy's head in it.
But Seth MacFarlane is not the guy in the suit.
No, he's not the guy in the suit. The guy in the suit's name is...
Nice.
There he is.
Right.
Thanks, Lawrence. Wink, who I mentioned, is an amazing animatronic, the huge creature.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like CG replacement stuff when he gets batted
sure.
about. But for the most part, that's a man in a suit with an amazing animatronic head and fist and all of that.
I like the part where Hellboy's Hand of Doom smashes into that guy's fist and he's like, oh, my fist.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing.
And then Hellboy just lets him get completely mashed.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember whether he was like an Indiana Jones kind of guy where he might try and save you if he has to.
Oh, yep,
Sometimes.
The answer's no.
And he's just like, nah. No, thank you.
It's Star Wars rules. There's plenty of these weird fairy tale freaks. We can let a few go through to the keeper.
Absolutely.
Just let them all die. It's fine.
I mean, the troll market in itself is incredible. And also just Hellboy doing violence on people.
Yeah, sure.
Is a lot of fun.
Yeah. A great line where that little baby's actually a tumor.
Yes, that's right. And not a baby. Yeah, exactly. Look, we mentioned this, but yeah, so basically they're trying to... The elf prince... Well, he becomes the elf king, I guess, because he kills the king.
That's true.
He wants to reignite the Golden Army to take things back. And I guess also he's kind of right, because there's a speech where he's like, you know, the humans, they've just run the earth into the earth. They've run the earth into the earth, and it's bad now, and everything's a car park. They've paved paradise. God damn it.
That's right.
They've paved...
I can't get a bloody big yellow taxi to save my life, which I think was the point of that song.
That's right, yeah. And so what happens here is, you know, he has to do that, and then they have to stop him from doing that.
And then Hellboy's like, you know what? I am going to kill the last one of these elementals that's ever existed because Star Wars animal rules.
That's right.
Bang, you're dead. Who cares?
Oh, amazing. I love that. Just that beautiful ancient creature that even in death, it spreads life. It's amazing. I mean, look, he did back Hellboy into a corner.
It's true.
He released it. What's Hellboy supposed to do, you know?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
He did the right thing killing that terrible-ish thing.
That's right.
I mean, it's not the worst thing in that scene. There is a CGI baby, but it is...
It's getting flung about like there's no tomorrow.
It's not the worst CGI baby I've seen in a movie.
You're thinking of Twilight.
I'm thinking of The Flash.
Oh,
but
yeah.
maybe Twilight also.
Right?
It's probably... Oh.
I think visual effects guys in movies should stop making babies until they figure out what's going on. And I mean in computers and in real life. They should stop making babies till you sort your bloody lives out.
I completely agree. Another element that I love, it's mostly just creature stuff, I guess. It's Doug Jones in dual roles, this time as the Angel of Death.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's very Pan's Labyrinth, isn't it?
Extremely,
That
yeah.
whole situation.
Where's his eyes? Somewhere else, probably.
Yeah, it's on his wings, mate.
Yeah.
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 And just the idea of, I don't know, again, there's this like threat of, a looming threat that Hellboy is going to usher in the apocalypse. I mean, not in this movie.
No.
Maybe in a future movie.
I mean, maybe.
Not in this series.
No,
But maybe
no.
in a future Hellboy movie that's not connected to this series,
Maybe,
potentially.
sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here's a section of the show called They Put a Kid in That?
Okay.
So at the start of this, John Hurt returns, and you see young Hellboy.
That's right. A very, and it's alluded to in the scene, he's watching Howdy Doody.
Yep.
It's a very Howdy Doody look.
Yes.
He's got the big buck teeth. He's got kind of a 50s look to him.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
And I thought, I don't think you're allowed legally to make a kid sit that long for makeup. Which is true. There are limitations around what you can do and how much a kid should endure.
Sure.
For Hollywood.
That's right.
Haven't they endured enough?
I mean, more than in real life, obviously. You know,
Yeah.
kids got to suffer for art and
gotta.
content. You know what
exactly. Judy Garland was hooked on lead and cigarettes for The Wizard of Oz and turned out brilliant, you know?
I mean? You could see it all on the screen, and that's beautiful.
But that young Hellboy boy was played by an adult and then 36-year-old woman.
Montse Ribe.
That's right, yeah. Which is pretty incredible.
It's blown my mind, to be honest.
Yeah.
I looked it up. I'm like, who's that funny little boy?
That's what I was like, nothing adds up here. What is this? And I'm glad we both did our own research, Mason.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I was going to move a bit of...
That's some very Men in Black.
It is.
These movies are sort of increasingly Men in Black
Oh,
I feel.
boy, are they, yeah. You enjoying the reappearance of, what's his name? The head of the BPRD? Jeffrey Tambor.
Absolutely.
Just completely exasperated. There's too much Hellboy going on here. I gave him cigars. He fell out a window. And everyone hates him.
Yeah.
You know, which I guess is fair enough. Yeah. One of my favorite moments in this movie is also when Abe Sapien and Hellboy get drunk together. I think that's just an incredible moment.
Yep.
Abe Sapien feeling certain feelings for the first time in his extended life. I enjoy. Again, Doug Jones returns not only in body, but also voice, as we talked about last week. David Hyde Pierce did not return.
That's right.
Probably not entirely necessary. Doug Jones does. He just does the voice. He can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Niles voice. Everybody can do the Niles voice.
Oh, Frasier. No, that's not it. What is it?
That's Frasier in a mirror talking to himself. Oh, Frasier. You've done it this time, Frasier.
He's got his foot in a big bucket of caviar.
That's right.
Yeah. But I think also this movie just does action better as well than the previous one.
Yeah, you know what I dislike about these movies, honestly? There's too much swooshing about.
Okay.
But I think that was a symptom of the era. Everybody was swooshing about.
Everybody swooshed.
There was too much like extraneous kind of, I've got a knife and I'm swinging it around.
You gotta swoosh it about.
Oh, look how impressive I'm being. You're not.
So you don't like a swooshing of a coat to do a turn?
Sometimes.
Do you like two men, one's an elf, one's a Hellboy, jumping over some cogs?
I do quite like that, actually.
I love that end sequence. All those cogs are real. There's a real cog spinning about. That's an amazingly choreographed action sequence. And I love all that stuff with the Golden Army. All of that is really, really good. And I love the way that they rebuild and they're crawling and reassembling themselves. And all of that is just terrific. And of course, the big surprise in this movie is that Liz, who's returning as a character, a more fleshed out character, her fire is a different color.
Different color.
She's got a haircut. She's pregnant with not just one Hellboys, but two Hellboys.
Two Hellboys.
Yeah. Which would have lent itself to the sequel.
Hellboy 3, 2 Hellboys.
Yeah.
Hellboy 3, 3 Hellboys.
That makes more sense to me.
Or Hellboy 3, 2 Hellboys, 1 Hellgirl, or 2 Hellgirls. We don't know.
Well, I can talk about it because we are going to talk about the cancelled sequel. Yeah, I think this is just, I don't know, there is more of a fable, fairy tale, Men in Black kind of.
Yeah, but there's room for that in this universe.
Totally.
It's just a shame they only got to 2.
Yeah.
I would have liked the third one to be another just awful little village or whatever, filled with goblins, you know
That's what we pretty much got anyway.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But no, I think, I don't know, the ending of this, it's really kind of bittersweet. You know, he finds out that he's having twins.
I thought you meant the bit before that where Liz uses her fire powers to melt the crown and therefore destroys the Golden Army. And I'm like, you could have done that earlier. You could have done it way earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And
Maybe she just wanted to see how it played out.
I know Luke Goss from Bros wanted to get, he was like, bring me the last piece of the thing and otherwise I'll kill my sister or whatever.
He did
say
that.
But if you do that, you're killing yourself, aren't you?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I would melt the thing and let the chips fall where they may.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
Luke Goss from Bros.
Right?
Can you believe he's here? Do you wish he was in more things?
I feel maybe you shouldn't Google his politics.
Oh.
If I had to guess.
You could Google his Death Race sequels.
Oh, yeah.
He took over from Jason Statham.
Oh.
And that's true.
Interesting.
You know what? First Death Race movie, not the first one.
I'm Googling his politics.
Yeah, please. The first Death Race movie, as in for the reboot, the Jason Statham one, pretty good. I like that movie.
That's great.
It's a bit of fun, mate.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. What's the goss?
On Luke Goss.
Yeah. Wait a minute. He's bald.
Yes.
Oh, no.
That's correct. You only liked him because of his beautiful hair.
I did. I thought that was his real hair.
He's had a falling out with his brother Matt Goss.
No.
Matt Goss has said, "I'm sick of political correctness." Maybe
Whoa.
I'm thinking of Matt Goss and not Luke Goss.
What do you know so much about Matt Goss?
I don't know. I think somebody tweeted about the Goss brothers from Ross.
Right.
You know? In conclusion, I don't know and I'm not interested anymore. Let's assume he's fine. Guess what? Most people in Hollywood are crook.
Just cut him.
Even some of the people in this movie.
Completely agree.
Naming no names. But they're in the main cast and they're crook.
Anyways, Mason, it's time for Trivia Boy, Trivia Golden Trivia. Now, as the Angel of Death, Doug Jones could only see out of the crack in the mask that he wore. And the mechanical wings that he had weighed about 40 pounds. Initially, he was supposed to walk around the set with them, but he's like, this is heavy, actually.
This is bloody heavy, actually. I think I'll just sit
hell.
down, yeah. Can the main attribute of this angel be that he just sits down a lot?
Yeah.
Because of the weight of the world? Let's say that's why.
And then at the end, instead of walking off, he can just disappear.
Yeah,
Just,
hell yeah.
just do it. Just fade out.
Yeah.
Just fade out. I'll duck down.
Yeah.
Just fade out. The angel is also voiced by Doug Jones, doing each line twice. One higher pitched and then one in a lower pitch and then blending those together. And you get that
Interesting.
kind of ethereal situation.
The same sort of ethereal voice you'd get if you combined the voice of Fraser Crane and Niles Crane, I think.
Or the Goss brothers.
Or the Goss brothers. Political correctness is good, bad. You know?
Yeah.
Combine the two. Find yourself somewhere in the middle.
God, two sides of the political spectrum in one family.
Probably the same, if I had to guess.
We talked about this last week, but yeah, Ron Pearlman is left-handed.
Yeah.
So he's not really working that hard, is he?
I knew it.
Yeah, you did know it, yeah. Look, all this Trivia Boy stuff is terrific. But,
Isn't it though?
but last week...
They should call us the Terrific Trivia Boys.
Agreed. But last week, you asked me if there was a connection between this movie and The Shape of Water.
Because of the fish sex.
Yeah, and both of them have Doug Jones as Fishman, right?
Having fish sex.
Falling in love.
That's
and
right.
And the fish sex, yeah.
Spawning.
Very good. Now, apparently, as far as I can tell, there is no direct link. There are fan theories that The Shape of Water is an Abe Sapien prequel, but it just doesn't make any sense.
Now that's more. I was more thinking what's in Guillermo's
Yeah,
head.
I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there because somebody would have said it.
Yeah.
But when asked by the Daily Dead about the connection, Del Toro said, I don't want to repeat that. I don't want to repeat that. What did you say? If you take Abe Sapien and you put him in The Shape of Water, it wouldn't work. His primary color is blue, and he's made of almost car-like design lines. He's a very comic book character. So what we did, we had to go ahead and make something different. But
That sounds like somebody, if you'll excuse the pun, who's floundering right there. 'Cause he's like, well, no, because he's blue and he's like a car, actually. So it's not weird at all that I've done the same thing in another movie.
and I added sex.
That's
Nobody's
right.
talking about that.
That's
We're
right.
all talking about it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
THR spoke to Doug Jones about this, about the role, and he said, Guillermo was very specific. This might add some insight.
Okay.
We don't have any definitive answers, but here's some things you might want to know.
Okay.
He did not want Abe Sapien in this film. He wanted this to be very standalone. It's its own piece of art. Let's celebrate this own unique story that has nothing to do with Abe. And then he said, he has a love for fishmen and mermaids anyway. The creature from the Black Lagoon was his favorite of the Universal monsters, but he wanted this one to be very different.
There you go.
He just loves a fish man.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Sure.
Just loves a fish man.
That's all I need, a bit of honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, what is interesting also, there was going to be a spin-off movie called Hellboy Silverlance, which was an Abe Sapien adventure, which would also feature a small cameo from Hellboy and also the return of Agent Myers. If that film was successful, it would have launched into a franchise under the title Files of the BPRD.
I love that idea.
Didn't happen.
Didn't, and I hate that it didn't happen.
Yeah, me too. It wasn't Guillermo del Toro directing, but of course he would have had a hand in it. Anyways, in terms of box office...
Yeah, I would have loved a hand in that fish, man.
No doubt. Anyways, in terms of box office, on a budget of $85 million, it made $168.3 million, which is really good, right? It had a larger opening weekend and general box office than the first movie. But you know what came out the week after Hellboy the Golden Army in 2008?
Hitch. Movie Hitch.
No, that was 2004,
Yeah,
Mason.
I know. Well, I don't know. What was it?
The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Just stomped this movie.
Yeah, huh.
It suffered a 70% drop. Again, it did kind of do well in Blu-ray sales and the like, and it is well regarded. But that initial box office is the reason that the sequel never materialized, which is kind of unfair because we don't really know how this would have gone
Agreed,
if The Dark Knight didn't come out. And that's a good movie. I mean, for Heath Ledger's performance alone.
That's correct, yes.
But, it is kind of a shame that movie killed both Heath Ledger and Hellboy 3. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, do you want to know the point of Hellboy 3? And by the point, I mean what it's vaguely about and then why it didn't happen.
Sure, let's do it.
Cool. So it's about Hellboy
Yes.
and Liz's kids, and one is like her and one is like him. And it's also about like ushering in the apocalypse, etc.
But I'm going to take a wild guess and say that there's probably a son and he's all fiery, and there's a daughter and she's like Hellboy.
They're mixing it up.
They're mixing it up. They'd mix it up.
Hell Baby
Yep.
and Fireboy.
Correct.
Great. So, of course, Guillermo del Toro was hired on the Hobbit movies before Hellboy 2 was released, so he was tied up with that for a couple of years before he left. We have covered the Hobbit movies in their own videos. Please check them out. What a fucking nightmare. After that, he moved on to Pacific Rim.
Oh, yep, sure.
In interviews, he was still pushing for that to happen, and then at one point he said, well, why don't we do it as a comic? But Mike Mignola shut that down because he's...
Already done those, he said.
No.
I did them.
I'm doing them now.
That's what you're adapting. That's what you did. Guillermo.
Sort of adapting. Yeah. But he shut it down and said it would be confused with the existing run of Hellboy, which I don't think is true. I would say the majority of people know Hellboy from the movies.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not Hellboy fans out there, Mason, who love the comics.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. Now, considering also that the first two barely broke even, the first one probably didn't, but again, they were both bolstered by DVD sales. You couldn't justify the $120 million you'd probably have to put in to make this movie now, because it would go to streaming and then disappear immediately.
Correct,
probably.
yes.
There's no more money being made on that. And of course, in 2017,
Should we sell DVDs of Caravan of Garbage?
yeah, we should.
Yeah.
They're for sale now. They're linked below.
That's right. We haven't paid for the rights to any of the clips, so a lot of it's just blank.
You're going to have to pay for the rights to the clips yourself, okay?
right.
And then edit them in.
Yeah. We will not provide a tutorial.
There will be like all the little animations of us being like, what are you doing? And whatever. They'll all be there.
Yeah.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Yeah, that's right. It's not region free though.
No, absolutely
yeah.
not. Yeah.
It will not play on your player.
And they are on CDs. They're not on DVDs. VCDs.
They're on VCDs.
So Guillermo del Toro, he tweeted this in 2017. Hellboy 3, sorry to report. Spoke with all parties. Must report that 100% the sequel will not happen.
Is he doing this via like Telegraph or something? Spoke to all parties.
He wrote
Hellboy 3 not happening.
He wrote spoke W all parties.
Ah.
This is when there was a character limit, I guess. And this is to be the final thing about it. Hellboy may move in a different direction, heartbroken, but not up to me. I, for one, wish everybody involved the best of luck. I'd imagine he'd heard that they were rebooting it.
Yeah.
And that's how that went down. But of course, Ron Pearlman did briefly reprise the role in 2012 when he redonned the Hellboy costume and prosthetics to meet a terminally ill boy as part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh,
which
that's
is
pretty
just
nice.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the real Hellboy 3, making a wish and dream come true.
That's
so everybody
right.
shut up about it.
Yeah,
all
that's
right?
right.
Yeah. So, are we going to do Hellboy 2019?
I think we should.
Or
Go on.
do we take a week off and
just
get margaritas?
Just not do anything.
We get margaritas and then we throw them at cars.
Oh my God, that'd be so exciting. We could smoke those Cuban cigars.
Exactly.
We could try those. That
we
help.
throw them at cars, Mason.
Yeah. We
Oh,
could build a big metal fist on a chain and throw it at cars.
But we should, we'll do Hellboy. We'll do the other one.
Yeah,
I
we'll do
guess?
that one. I like it a lot. I don't know. I know I'm the only one. I know not even David Harbour likes that one, but
Yep.
there you go.
There you go. Alrighty. Now, if you do want to see that early, you can actually head over to bigsandwich.co where all these videos go up there early. But that's not the only thing. We also do video game Let's Plays. We also do movie commentaries. We also do a comic book club,
That's
don't
correct.
we?
We've probably talked about Hellboy,
It's
or we will.
It's up there,
Yeah,
definitely.
we've said the word Hellboy.
We've said it 100 times.
We're also selling DVDs.
That's
as
right.
mentioned.
It's a VCD, but yes. You can check that out. It's all there.
It's several episodes of this on Jazz Drive.
But also we have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows that comes out every Monday. Of course, we'll be talking about the new Hellboy movie, That Crook Bloke,
That's right.
when it arrives in cinemas. All right. Is that everything?
That's everything.
All right. Thank you, Lawrence, for the edits.
Thank you, Lawrence. Grab that jammy, guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.